Our goal has always been to create a situation with housing where it would be a gradual transition for Shannon from what we had, which was her total dependence on us, to what will be when we're not here anymore, which is dependence on herself or other support systems. We started exploring, talking with other families who were in the same situation of young adults and where were they going to live. We explored as many options as we could. Our thinking shifted to a multifamily house that Shannon would live in part and Mark and I would live in part. And over the years, her dependence on us could decrease as she had support staff and as she learned to do things for herself. Once we made that decision, we asked everybody we knew. We had a realtor. We went to the foreclosure auction. We did everything to find the right place in Clifton. The house is a 3-family. It's 125 years old. It's actually a 2-family, and they had a maid's quarters upstairs. So there is a smaller unit. And when we purchased the home, there were tenants and already living there. And so we decided at that time to form a limited liability company, an LLC, for several reasons. There were tenants. Shannon would be living in her own apartment, and she was at the time receiving SSI, so we wanted to make sure that the bookkeeping was very clear on that we were charging her fair market rent. The components that we're trying to put in place so we can see how they work while we're still here are certainly the financial end of things. The stable account she's had for a couple years now. We use the stable account to pay her rent. Now that things have changed again, and when I became eligible for Social Security, Shannon became eligible for SSDI under my earnings record, so it's no longer necessary for us to charge her market rent. And so all of that money is now going into her stable account for when she needs it further down the road. The same with a special needs trust. We're thinking that the next steps will be to convert the LLC to a trust at this point in time, again, so we can see what's that look like. How does that work to have the house itself in a trust? One thing that's made the whole thing possible is the use of technology, things that are off the shelf. We've used Amazon Echo from the day we moved in as a means to converse with Shannon while she can stay in her apartment. We tell her on weekends we have dinner downstairs in our apartment and we can call her down. We can ask if she's taken her medication in the evening. We also have Ring security, which has made a big difference in our sense of well-being. At our old house, Shannon would never answer the doorbell. She would simply ignore people. But she did learn here in the new house that when her support staff come, she has to let them in. So she answers the door. She's not able to discriminate who she should let in and not. With the Ring doorbell, we're able to see what's happening and talk with whomever might be at the other side of the door. We also know if someone is there who we weren't expecting. We get that information from the Ring. The next step internally is going to be adding remote support. With the remote support, she can have her alone time and we don't need to worry if something goes wrong. It's been a journey to get here, and I will say that when we started out, we had no idea how much we didn't know that we needed to know. And it was a process just to learn what it was we needed to learn. There are a lot of rules and regulations that we were totally unaware of, and it was extremely helpful to talk to other families who were in the same situation.